5 career lessons I learned after moving abroad. I wish I knew these career lessons before moving abroad. It would have saved me years of trial and error. Moving to a new country isn't about adjusting to a different culture or figuring out where to get your groceries. It's a complete reset, especially when it comes to your career. The rules of the game have changed. What worked back home might not work here. And trust me, I have learned this the hard way. Welcome back to our series, I Wish I Knew This. In this video, I'm sharing 5 career lessons after moving abroad that could save you time, stress, and maybe even a few awkward conversations at work. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Priya from It's OKR and welcome back to our channel. And if you're new today, It's OKR is a content platform for South Asian immigrants and we aim to educate, entertain, and empower them. Lesson number 1, master the elevator pitch. A strong elevator pitch in the US isn't just useful, it is a game changer. When I first moved here, I noticed how effortlessly people introduce themselves, their work, their aspirations, all in under a minute. It wasn't just about confidence, it was about clarity. In a world where networking is practically your way of life, your elevator pitch is often the first impression. Whether it's a regular work meeting, a casual coffee chat, or a career fair, or even a chance of meeting someone in the elevator, knowing how to sum up who you are and what you bring to the table can open up doors you didn't even know existed. Crafting my pitch wasn't easy. It took trial, error, and a lot of feedback. But over time, I learned to tailor it to different audiences and ensure it did not sound rehearsed and it sounded very natural. So if you're new to the US or you're looking to grow here, invest your time in building that elevator pitch. Practice it, refine it, and most importantly, make it sound authentic. Because sometimes all it takes is 30 seconds to change the course of your journey. Moving on, lesson number 2. Small talk is an underrated superpower. If you are thinking small talk is just about talking about the weather or the weekend, you are wrong. The fact is, small talk isn't just polite, it's a superpower. Let me explain. See, Indian culture believes in being very direct. We often skip the pleasantries and get straight to the point. But when I moved to the US, I quickly realized that small talk isn't just a filler, it's a bridge to building relationships both personally and professionally. When I first moved here, I found it awkward. Talking about the weather or weekend plans somehow felt shallow. But trust me, small talk is less about the topic and more about creating a sense of ease. And that can be done by talking things beyond the surface level. And here's the secret tip to do it: genuine curiosity. Anyone can nod along or make polite comments, but asking thoughtful questions, the ones that show you're truly interested, can turn casual chats into deeper conversations. Instead of stopping at "How was your weekend?" ask "What did you enjoy the most about it?" Instead of generic "How is work?" try something like "What's the most exciting project you're working on?" Small talk may start with weather, sports, or weekends, but the real magic happens when you show that you care to know more. So the next time you're in a conversation, don't just listen, ask. Lesson number 3, confidence is key. That's right, confidence will take you to places your talent won't. And while confidence is important to succeed even in India, in the US, it's not just important, it's an extreme necessity. We all know people who do not fully understand the process but still thrive because they radiate confidence and are smooth talkers. It's frustrating, isn't it? Let me give you a personal example. I'm a petite, 5 foot tall woman, often sitting in a room full of executives. At the first glance, I may not come across as the most authoritative person in the room, but when I speak confidently and articulate my points with clarity, I see the shift in body language. Suddenly, I'm no longer overlooked. I am heard. Here's the thing. This kind of confidence doesn't happen overnight. So what helped me? A simple yet powerful exercise. Stand in front of the mirror and talk to yourself for 2 minutes about any topic. It might sound easy, but trust me, it's harder than it seems. Stick with it and you will notice the change. Confidence is a skill just like any other. And I'm not saying confidence alone is important. Talent will always matter, but it's your ability to show up, speak up, and own the room that will truly set you apart. Lesson number 4, always have a point of view. No one is going to remember if you agree with everything. In India, at least us millennials were taught to keep our heads down and work. If senior leadership is discussing ideas, you need not share your opinions unless you're asked for it, let alone disagreeing with their ideas or approach. It never sat well with me, and I used to openly challenge ideas or opinions, which sometimes got me into trouble too. But that wasn't the case when I moved here. See, one of the best things about the US is that it really believes in the idea of freedom to express your opinion. Unlike back home, where I was called rude or loud or pushy, pushy for expressing my opinion in front of senior leadership. In the US, I was often encouraged to speak freely, to share my opinions, my likes, and even my dislikes. I'll say that not expressing your thoughts openly will actually work against you, and people may start thinking that you actually have no understanding of things at all. So the next time you're in a meeting, don't think you have nothing valuable to add, because life is not a popularity contest. Just share your point of view freely and see how people remember you. And finally, lesson number 5, find good mentors and sponsors. Finding mentors and sponsors isn't just helpful, it's essential for your career. The concept of mentorship and sponsorship isn't widely talked about in India. Sure, we have seniors or bosses who guide us, but the structured and intentional relationships I have seen in the US were new to me when I first moved here. When I moved to the US, my first manager became my mentor, offering guidance I still rely on today. Mentorship isn't just about taking advice, it is a two-way relationship. Sharing your challenges, successes, and even offering your own insights helps nurture the bond. If mentors advise you, sponsors advocate for you. Over the years, I've had sponsors who have opened doors to opportunities and got me into rooms where I wouldn't have access otherwise. These relationships don't happen by chance. They are a result of consistent hard work, building trust, and most importantly, being unafraid to make the ask. But here's the thing, not everyone will become your mentor or sponsor, and that's totally okay. Sometimes your goals may shift and you may need to find new mentors whose journeys align with where you want to go. The key here is to stay adaptable and intentional. And that's it for today, guys. I hope you found these helpful. The idea was to share some lessons that have shaped my corporate career in the US. These are the lessons I have learned, sometimes the hard way, but if they can help you early on in your career, then I'm sure it will be extremely useful. If you like this video, please hit that like button and share it with your friends. Let us know which lesson resonated the most with you in comments, and if you've learned any other lesson that I may have missed. I would love to hear from you. Next week, I'll share 5 relationship lessons that I had learned after moving abroad. Please subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss it, and remember, if things aren't going your way, it's okay, because they will eventually turn around. Until next time, this is Priya signing off. Have a wonderful day.